All right, football fans, let's dive into some Philadelphia Eagles talk because no matter the time of year, this fan base stays hungry and there's never a dull moment in the NFL. The offseason might be winding down, but Monday, June 30th, delivered a shocker that shook up the league. We had a major trade go down between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. One of those rare blockbuster deals that hits like a jolt of electricity this late in the calendar. And now, with the dust barely settling, there's already speculation that the ripple effect of this deal could lead to something even bigger. Something involving one of the top defensive players in football and, potentially, the Eagles. Let's start with the trade itself. The Steelers acquired perennial All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith from the Dolphins in exchange. Miami received All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick in a late-round pick. Now, on the surface, this is one of those trades that makes you pause. Ramsey is still a top-tier talent, capable of locking down elite receivers, playing both outside and inside, and even showing glimpses of potential as a hybrid safety. Jonnu Smith, while not a superstar, was a Pro Bowl-level contributor last year and adds another dimension to the Steelers' offense. But giving up Minkah Fitzpatrick, that's a steep price. Minkah is younger, incredibly productive, and has been the heart of that Dolphins secondary for years. For Miami, this was about flipping disgruntled players into someone who immediately upgrades their defense. Especially after losing safety Jevon Holland in free agency. It's a curious move, one that feels like both teams are trying to reconfigure their identity. Pittsburgh clearly believes they're in win-now mode. They've got aging stars like Aaron Rodgers, who's now 41 years old, and defensive lineman Cam Hayward, who's 36, Darius Slay is 34, Robert Woods is 33, punter Cam Johnston is also 33, and even newcomers like Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith are both 30. The core of this Steelers team is filled with veterans, experienced guys who have seen it all. And at the heart of that defense still stands T.J. Watt, now 30 years old himself and one of the most feared pass rushers in the game. But here's where things get even more interesting. Right after that big trade, ESPN's Adam Schefter dropped a report that multiple teams around the league have been quietly checking in on T.J. Watt's availability. He recently skipped the Steelers' mandatory mini-camp, and while Pittsburgh has publicly stated they want him to finish his career there, behind the scenes, there seems to be a growing disconnect regarding his contract situation. Watt is entering the final year of a 4-year, $112 million deal, with $80 million guaranteed. His cap hit for this season, just over $30 million. And considering how the edge rusher market has exploded, Watt knows he's due for a raise. He's not just playing well, he's dominating, and the numbers back it up. Over the last 6 seasons, Watt has earned 5 All-Pro selections. He's been one of the most impactful defensive players in football, not just pressuring quarterbacks, but also defending the run with elite consistency. When healthy, he changes the entire makeup of a defense. And with guys like Myles Garrett now making $40 million per year, and other top edge rushers like Danielle Hunter, Max Crosby, and Nick Bosa all surpassing $34 million annually, Watt's current $28 million average just doesn't cut it anymore. He wants and deserves another big payday. So now the question becomes, will a team be bold enough to make a move for him? And is that team possibly the Philadelphia Eagles? Enter Howie Roseman. If there's one general manager in the NFL who's never afraid to shake things up, it's Howie. He's always hunting for value, always eyeing opportunities to improve the roster, and he's never shied away from making splash moves, especially when it comes to premium positions. And what's more premium than an elite edge rusher? The Eagles have long prioritized 3 things: find a quarterback, protect the quarterback, and get after the quarterback. That philosophy has been embedded in the team's DNA since the days of Andy Reid. And guess who was a young intern in that front office learning the ropes back then? You guessed it, Howie Roseman. Now, do the Eagles need T.J. Watt? No, not necessarily. They've got young talent that they're excited about. Nolan Smith broke out last year, going from 1 sack as a rookie to 6.5 in his second season, then adding for more in the playoffs. That's the kind of trajectory you love to see. Josh Uch is another guy they're hopeful about, and they signed Azeez Ojulari, who's productive when healthy, but that's been the issue, staying on the field. There's also Jay Hunt, a breakout candidate who showed flashes of brilliance, and rookie Antoine Powell-Rillen, a 6th-round pick with upside, but rawness as well. All that said, none of those guys are T.J. Watt. None of them can take over a game quite like he can. Watt is a generational defender, behind Myles Garrett. He might be the most disruptive edge player in the entire league, bringing him to Philadelphia would instantly elevate a defense that's already got the pieces to be elite, especially under new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. The pass rush was inconsistent last year, and with Fangio's scheme relying on pressure to create turnovers, an addition like Watt could be a game changer. But of course, there's a massive elephant in the room: the money. The Eagles have been extremely careful this offseason when it comes to the salary cap. They've made smart, budget-conscious moves and have been clearly preparing for some major extensions looming on the horizon. Jalen Carter, for instance, isn't contract eligible just yet, but once the 2025 season ends, you can bet he's going to be looking for a record-setting deal. If he continues playing like he did last year or takes another step forward, he'll become the highest-paid defensive tackle in the NFL. You're talking about a possible $30 to $40 million per year investment right there, and it doesn't stop with Carter. You've got players like Reed Blankenship and Nakobe Dean, who are due for extension soon. Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell are part of the long-term vision. Jalen Hurts, who's already on a massive deal, might want to restructure in the future, depending on how the quarterback market evolves. So if you bring in Watt, sure, your defense gets stronger immediately, but you may not be able to keep the core intact down the line. That's the dilemma. Roseman is a mastermind when it comes to manipulating the cap, but even he has limits. Adding Watt would likely mean losing flexibility elsewhere, and that's the internal debate happening in the front office right now. It's not about whether Watt would help. Everyone knows he would. It's about whether the short-term gain outweighs the long-term cost. The Eagles have worked hard to build a sustainable contender. They want to stay young, fast, and hungry. Nolan Smith, for example, is viewed as one of the new leaders of this defense, especially now with Brandon Graham officially retired. If Smith continues to rise, he'll be due for a big payday soon too. Still, you can't ignore the whispers. People around the league, even outside of Philadelphia, are pointing at this TJ Watt situation and saying, watch out for the Eagles. That's how much respect Howie Roseman commands anytime a star becomes available. People immediately wonder if the Eagles will make a move, and honestly, they're not wrong to wonder. Roseman himself said it at the NFL Combine. He was asked about the rumors linking Philly to Myles Garrett at the time, and he didn't deny interest. He simply said, anytime we can improve our football team, we're going to explore that. Classic Roseman, non-committal, but wide open to opportunity. So where does that leave us? The Eagles probably won't make a move for Watt. It doesn't fit their recent cap strategy. It doesn't align with their current youth movement. And there's serious risk in giving a massive deal to a 30-year-old pass rusher with a bit of an injury history. But still, if the stars align and the price is right, and the Steelers feel the pressure, don't be shocked. Howie's always lurking, always calculating. He might be rocking in his chair, thinking about all the possibilities. And if he sees a path to a second Lombardi in 3 years with TJ Watt and Midnight Green, who knows? Maybe he pulls the trigger. And that's the thing about the Eagles. No matter how much logic you throw into the equation, there's always that wild card factor. Always that edge of your seat suspense when it comes to a front office that refuses to stand still. The TJ Watt rumors aren't coming out of nowhere. They're not smoke without fire. When players of his caliber skip mandatory activities, when they enter the final year of a contract and haven't reached new terms, other franchises smell opportunity, and in this league, you either evolve or fall behind. The Eagles know that better than anyone. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL offseason is rarely short of surprises, but a recent whisper circulating among insiders has the potential to shake up the league. According to multiple unnamed sources close to the situation, there's growing speculation that offensive tackle MEKHI BeCTON could be making a stunning return to the gridiron, and even more intriguingly, not with the team most expected. Rumor has it that the Philadelphia Eagles, known for their aggressive front office maneuvers and strategic roster depth plays, may be in discussions to bring Beckton aboard. The former first-round pick, whose career has been plagued by injuries and inconsistency since being drafted by the New York Jets, has reportedly been training intensively in the offseason. Sources describe him as leaner, focused, and hungrier than ever, though nothing is official and the Eagles have remained tight-lipped. The chatter has been growing louder over the past week. Beckton's name has appeared more frequently in Philadelphia circles, and those close to the Eagles camp suggest that a deal, while not imminent, is on the table. One anonymous scout even mentioned, "This feels like a classic Eagles move. Low risk, high upside. If Beckton is truly back in shape, he could be a steal." For a franchise that values offensive line depth as much as the Eagles, adding a player of Beckton's size and raw talent could be a shrewd move, despite his setbacks. Beckton is still only in his mid-20s and possesses rare athletic traits for a man of his stature. Philadelphia's offensive line, already among the league's elite, could offer Beckton the perfect environment to revive his career. Without the pressure of immediately starting. It remains to be seen whether this will materialize into a formal signing or fizzle out like many off-season rumors. But if the Eagles do manage to land Beckton, it would be yet another surprising twist in an already unpredictable NFL offseason. Keep an eye on this one. The whispers are only getting louder. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.